So what is culture and why is it so important? Well, culture is the sum of everyone's attitudes, beliefs, behaviours, traditions and skills. Culture isn't something that's owned by the CEO or the leadership team or even HR, although often they're the custodians of it. Culture belongs to everybody within a team or within the organisation. And as a result, culture permeates through everything. During the good times, culture's invisible. It just happens. Things just tick along, they move along, people are happy in their work and they contribute. During the bad times, culture is present continually on a daily basis, with different issues being thrown up to CEOs at different times, and you're putting out spot fires everywhere. Whose responsibility is culture? Culture is everybody's responsibility. Everybody, and I do mean everybody. No person within an organisation gets to take a backseat when it comes to culture. It never used to be this way. Certainly when I started work in the mid-1980s, it was very much command and control. People told you what to do. People told you what the culture was. But of course, the world has changed since the mid-1980s, not least the colour of my hair. But it has. We've moved on as a world, and post a global financial crisis, we became a much more empathetic world. It was less about greed is good, and we want to understand more about what organisations' purpose is. What good is it trying to do in the world, and what kind of environment is it creating for its employees so that they can be the best versions of themselves and also contribute to what the organisation is doing. How do you change a company culture? It's a question I get asked by CEOs all the time, and if I had $1 for every time I'd answered it, I'd probably have about, I don't know, $62, something like that. But it is culture change. It's often a statement we make in an annual report. It's something that we talk about at a board meeting or a leadership team meeting. We need to change our culture. And yet there's often kind of little understanding about how we do it. Also, there's little appetite for the length of time that it takes. And often CEOs revert to the Nike approach. Just do it. We just need to change our culture. What are some ideas organisations could immediately implement to help change a culture? Well, this is something that I wrote about in my book, Culture Hacks. I gave 26 ideas, but for this particular segment, I'm going to focus in on 6. And yes, you can do all 6 immediately. Now, the reason that I know that is prior to working for myself, helping organisations to positively evolve their cultures, writing books, public speaking, I was a permanent employee for 30 years. I worked in both private and public sector and know about the challenges that people face on a daily basis. And I've done all of the things that I'm about to talk about, every single one of them. Yeah, some of them were tougher than others, but didn't stop me. So here are the 6. Number 1, stop sending and CCing people in on emails.